But no, Beth, your goes crashing down. Determination, the suffering, the ability to... And she's unleashed everything in this attack. See just how much that win means to him. All the marvels. Kayla versus Allison, and to the line. Kayla Laguna takes the victory. Hello everybody and welcome to week 4 of the CVRcade Solo Cup. My name is Jesper Anker and we've already seen some amazing racing today out in the CVRcade Solo Cup. It's week 4 and earlier today, Sony, it was Quentin Molinez versus Timothy Timont on the top. It was Ben Shuilong versus Peter Kastrup in the 3rd and 4th spot. And then we had a good fight between Homer Thompson, Corinne Fox and the Badger and Aaron Stalling further down. Now we're going to get more of the same as we enter Zone K and Zone L. Once more, we've got individuals streaming from in across the world as they take on this great battle in the Coliseum of CVRcade. Streaming in from down under, well, from New Zealand, we've got Jeff Rooney. He's ready to race. Last week he was a near miss as dashed against the rock, saw his chances go out the window. We've also got Casey Shum of the United States who is in here, ready to try and see if he can up his prize purse earned. We've got Sebastian Kuhn, the man, the myth, the legend of Saturday's racing. He pretty much single-handedly stole the show, and we'll see if that fatigue has kicked in. But speaking of fatigue, Quentin Molinez, one zone deep already. He goes again here, have the legs recovered. Is he ready to race against the finest that CVRcade have to offer? The Swedish chef, Carl Axel Sander. He is in here. He's also been the nearly man as you get some explosions, insert sound effect here. Carl Axel Sander ready to go. We've got John Pyle of the United States of America as well. Rumor has it he's upstairs doing the dishes last second here. Maybe girlfriend's orders. You never know. You've got to keep everybody happy. And then last but not least here, we've got Jennifer Garcia in her new Team Hive kit as she gets ready to race here. Let's hear from Jennifer. Jennifer, new kit, same CVRcade. What can we expect today?
I'm so excited about the new kit. Yes, hopefully it will bring me some good luck and help me power through my sickness. Yeah.
Well, as long as we keep you quarantined, as long as everybody, you know, this could be your chance, Jennifer. If everybody doesn't want to get near you, you just ride off the front and you win this race by default. I mean, that is a strategy you could try.
Wouldn't that be nice? Did everyone hear that?
I am positive.
Stay away.
I am positive they did. Good luck here, Jennifer. Jennifer getting full-on bonus points today for having the matching kit in-game and in real life. As always, we are racing for money. It's $30 for whoever tops off the Omnium today. It's $20 for second place, $15 for third, $10 for fourth, and $5 for fifth. Let us know what you think of the new, by the way, lower third here. We have heard your feedback. You wanted real-time scoring down there. You want a gap. You want equalized watts. You've also got distance remaining and the minimap. But how about this? Please, everybody, welcome a new Swede. We've got the IKEA man. We've got Stefan H. He's ready to assemble his furniture. He's ready to put together the newest possible racing craft straight out of Sweden onto CVRcade. From all of us, Stefan, we welcome you onto the platform. But here we go. It is a totally new attempt, a new thinking of the low skill event. Quantum Shift has been taken out. We still have Corner Caper and Uncrashable as abilities, but no Quantum Shift means that they can't adjust right through each other. Now, they've got to utilize racecraft, they've got to utilize timing, they've got to utilize their legs a lot more, as we saw earlier today with Ben Shuilong attempting a breakaway, with Timothy Timont, with Quentin Molinez, all trying to break it up. And here early, it's more of the same from Saturday. Sebastian Kuhn taking up the lead here. This is what he did on Roman Arena. He came to the front and he never really looked back. He was in a three-man breakaway with Chris Pritchard and Frank Garcia, and he just rode them off his wheel. And he's trying to do more here of the same as he finds himself in the front. Jennifer Garcia is further down, but a group of 4 here is forming on this first low-skill event. It is a one-time scoring multiplier, and you've got Jennifer trying to get on the draft of Sebastian Kuhn, but this is a deceptively long race. You can see 3.9 kilometers remaining. That means 4 laps are yet to be raced of this. It's long. You've got to fight because with dark matter tech, you swing right, you swing left, you swing right, you swing left, and every corner you kind of lose the draft. So you've got to accelerate every single time. And we see Vibeke Bertram is the first victim. She's further down, but other than that, 9th through 1st are all separated by 5 seconds here on the first lap. As Quinton on the back here, 1 Omnium down already today, and you can see the equalized heart rate 176 here. It's relatively low for him, but he finds himself in 7th place. Now we've got 2 Swedish riders in 5th and 6th here. Will they be able to use the in-game audio communication, maybe talk the language of the Swedes here? We'll see as Stefan and Carl Axel Sander move on up. It's still all together as John Pyle uses his 1 super here, his comeback kit, as he fights to get back on. 367 equalized watts more for 45 seconds or until he catches Jeff Rooney right in front of him. So that is his super gone. And with Quantum Shift gone as an ability, the comeback kit matters even more, because now if you do attack away, you have the risk of somebody closing it down behind you with a comeback kit. I do see in the chat, we've got Ben Shuilong in here, we got DK Matsuni, we've got Truth XXX, we've got Glenn, we've got Mutt KG, we've got Timothy Termont, all the usual people in here. We've also got Lancheril Storm. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys, and making this the best place to be on Mixer every single week here. As you see 4 riders in the front, Casey on the left here. As I spoke briefly to Casey before the racing, and he did say that this is going to be one of the most one of the most powerful, challenging Omniums to race, as it requires the most physicality. It's not so technical, but it's going to require the endurance. And he said himself, this is really going to display the endurance element of physical equalization, where you're going to see over time, some are going to rise to the top, and some are going to sink to the bottom, as it is Nigel Doyle. It's Sebastian Kuhn again. Sebastian, 900 equalized watts. He goes on to the attack here, and nobody goes with him just yet, but the comeback kid looms in the corner. You know it's available. 9 riders, 8 riders behind him, all have access. Sorry, 7 if you exclude John Pyle, all have access to comeback kid. And so Sepp here might be putting a target on his back here with his early attack, as we see the group now catching up here in the overview. I mean, this is criminal, but this is just a 1x scoring multiplier. This is brutal racing, as they're at 184, 187 equalized heart rate here. They're putting down a bit of effort. We've got 1.5 kilometers remaining. Jennifer is here, Vibeke is here, Quinton is here, Seb, Casey, John, Nigel, Jeff, Carl, and Stefan. 10 riders, all within a shot of winning this first race in Zone K of Week 4 in the CVRcade Solo Cup. Who is it gonna be? You can see Jennifer looking around. She's not getting much of a draft here. She waits, she holds her spot here. She's got Quinton moving over. Now she gets in the draft. 50% draft here of Quinton Molinez. Quinton, you don't want to be on the front here. You want to be 3rd, 4th wheel, and he knows this, so he lets off the gas ever so slightly. 314, 300 equalized watts. He wants somebody to come around. He wants someone to come over the top, but as we enter the final lap of racing, no one has done it yet. And it's still Quinton here on the front, and now they move on over. It's Sebastian once more. He's reckless, But everybody's together. There's 10 riders coming into this sprint finish. Get ready to whoever optimizes their lane choices here, whoever uses their super at the right time. Casey on the right here, he stands up. Sebastian on the left. As Casey goes, he moves on up. He doesn't have the draft. What does he do? Does he commit to this? 600 meters to go. The finish line is beckoning, and Casey has put himself in a poor position here in terms of drafting, but he is at the front. He's got an open lane if he chooses to go for it, but he is enabling comeback hit. 500 meters, 400 meters, it's ticking down. We've got one long line. Sebastian stands up. 500 equalized. What's 300 meters? No one has gone yet. We look from above. They're coming up on the inside. Jeff with quantum shift. He goes. Quantum shift from Carl. Both velocity riders using theirs. There goes John Pyle on the outside. 1300 equalized watts as Sebastian uses comeback kit, but it runs out the second he uses it. John Pyle is going to win the first event here. John Pyle, Everyday Team Havoc, United States of America, and now also the winner of the first event here in Omnium K of CVRcade Solo Cup Week 4. That was tense. I mean, every decision really mattered. We get the highlights. Let's put on John onto audio as well. So it's brutal. You finish a sprint, and we come right to you. John, congratulations, my friend. Talk me through that finish, because that was tense.
I just tried to save as much as I could for the finish. Earlier I had to use my comeback kit, but it goes away when you pass someone. So I figured it wasn't going to help everyone in the end. So if they were all waiting on that, I was going to take my chances by myself.
1200 equalized watts, so nobody really had something to go with you. John, you're one of the newcomers to the platform. We've seen you rise on up and become a stable competitor in T. Now you're entering into K. What do you think about this group of riders? Because many of them you haven't really raced in a solo capacity.
Yeah, I'm hoping a lot of them are from the last one. I couldn't make the earlier one. I'm on my lunch break now. So, but I'm familiar with about half of them, you know, I do the Saturday racing too. So most of these guys are in a team.
Well, John, I can hear you're way out of breath, so I'll let you finally catch it as we came to you right at the end. John even jumping off the bike. We have Sebastian Kuhn, who came across the line in second, and Seb, I mean, again, you just seem to be content on hitting the front, not worrying about anybody else, and trying to ride them off the wheel. Why is this?
Because I'm the worst sprinter on earth. I have to go early. This comeback kit is deadly if you want to race fast, because you might get caught every last lap.
But it adds that bit of tension. And Seth, now second place here. I think everyone's going to have their eyes on you after your performance on Saturday. How have you recovered? Because that was incredible.
Not at all. My legs feel like Saturday, 20 o'clock after the race.
Well, we know, Seb, that's usually when you're in your ace. So we'll see dead Sebastian Kuhn, perhaps angry Sebastian Kuhn, or maybe content, happy Sebastian with a horn as well. All different faces of the man, the myth, the legend. Let's go and hear from Carl Axel Sander. Came across the line in third. It was Carl, it was Jeff, who both used Quantum Shift at the same time. Carl, that last race, it looked like everybody was really antsy, really nervous. Was that your experience as well?
Yeah, it was. I guess it was not satisfying for anyone, because I guess everyone was expecting someone to go with like 500, 600, 700 meters to go, and and attack after that, and just to cruise up with the comeback hit. But it didn't happen. So I believe no one had any usage for the comeback hit. So it was just a normal sprint, and the guy that went from the best position with quantum shift, had the most luck. But I was happy just to stay behind Sebastian and got the third spot for myself without too much effort. So yeah.
Now we got Echelon. No supers available. It is a straight crosswind right to left as we enter out the gate here, Carl. Who worries you in this race? A echelon race with the wind.
Oh, no, I don't think it worries me too much because we were discussing this, with some big people before, and it's probably gonna, with the side wind, you don't get so much draft staying exactly, behind someone, just on the side. So with equalized, where everyone is about the same strength. So it's gonna hurt even if you in the front in the breakaway with someone and if the back. So it's probably best to just stay active in the racing and try to follow some attacks because it's gonna hurt for everyone no matter where they're staying in the race. So yeah, that's my top tip for this race.
Hey, truer words have never been spoken. Carl Axel Sander, everybody. Let's get the final word from a master tactician and somebody who I learned a lot of from Saturday's Zone L on the controller. Casey Shum, a race like this, the wind, what's the optimal strategy coming into this?
Just try to stay sheltered, really. There's no supers. It's just conserving and tactfully knowing when to go. I'm not sure who Carl's talking to. I mean, this is a solo race, so who's he chatting with? But yeah, I mean, this is really a gameplay here. I mean, there's nothing to bail you out or to help you out. Just getting in a good spot.
Nothing to bail you out here. Proper racing about to come up. Casey Shum, everybody, who is ready to race. He came across the line in 5th in the last one, taking home 19 points. We've got 17 riders taking to the start line here. And I think as we head on to Echelon, this is going to be a proper display of skill. Who can maneuver themselves in the wind? A 4-kilometer wind coming from right to left as we go on the initial straight. It's going to be a crosswind at all times, really, except for when you do the turn at the top. We'll see what's going to happen here as it is the first of the two scoring multiplier events coming up back to back here. John Pyle, quick blazing start on Dark Matter Tech, but can he defend his lead here? He is one of the newcomers in the racing. He is a Cade competitor, so we'll see if he can make his way up through the Cade Master, Cade Pro, as he races more on the platform. But here we go. This initial start here is all about getting out of the gate quick and getting into the draft. John, all the way to the right here, exposed into the wind, and we'll see. 10 riders here moving out through. Stefan Carl making up 9th and 10 as Jennifer Garcia on the outside here moves on up at 360 equalized watts. Got Quentin a bit further down, just sitting down here. Now the question becomes, how do you play this? And this is why strategy comes in, because you can choose to stay in the wind. You can choose to say, you know what, I'm not going to get any draft on this straight, but as I come and turn around, the wind will change direction, and I will be the one getting the draft second time around. Or you can try and double dip and be in the optimal position both ways. But what we also see happening when wind is available is that most people just get guttered. Right now you have one long line and the only real rider getting a draft is Sebastian Kuhn, as Jennifer Garcia is offering one up here on the left. As she now moves in, we've got John Pyle on the front. Maybe a bit antsy, a bit nervous here, coming out as the favorite after the first race into the second race here. He wants to be attentive, he wants to be aware on the front, but it's 4 laps of racing. As you can see in John, oh, his face! Bring that one up with the replay. I was going to say, we've got 4 laps of racing here. He overlaps the wheel. He crashes again as we cut to the replay. 2 crashes back to back. There's no reason for John to move to the right there. He thinks he's got space. There obviously wasn't space there, as you can see in the replay. Let's hear quickly before we go back. John, that's gotta hurt.
I thought there was space. You said it. That's just me not being as adept at this platform yet.
You live and you learn, John. 2 crashes back to back. You hate to see it, but that's the best way to learn. As we've got attacks happening here in the front as the wind changes. They move, they come on back here. The wind is from a different place now as they've got to sit tight here. It's Carl on the outside. You got Sepp on the inside here now. And now we've got a break forming. 4 riders as Nigel Doyle goes down. Nigel is racing from an outback motel somewhere here, like racing in on this. So very impressed that Nigel has the commitment to go on the road for work and bring his whole setup so he doesn't miss any of the action here in the CVRcade Solo Cup. I see we've got DK Mansuni, we've got Yo Venom also joining us in the chat here. Lord Croissant as well, who's been back after a bit of a disappearance. As we saw a rider there, if we can bring that up on the replay, I think I just saw a rider move all across the road there to the left. It looks like it's Sebastian Kuhn on the right here in the yellow. Look as he moves across here to the left. He just gets in front of Jeff Rooney. That is Lady Luck shining on the side of Sebastian Kuhn. But as we come back, we come through the corner and Casey Shum overlaps the wheels here. And now he is forced to make up a gap. He can only rely on his legs here. He overlapped the wheels. Him and Stefan both went down in the same corner, and now they've got to fight to get back on. We got Jennifer Garcia here moving on up. But as we look on the scoreboard, it's Carl Axel Sander moving on up with Quinton Molinay, 77 and 75 points, with Sebastian Kuhn and Jeff Rooney at 68 and 67. Now, in John's defense here, he's not far out of the racing. He's had 1 crash, he's had 2 crashes in fact, he's still in 5th place. And this is where the Omnium comes into play. You've got 4 races in total. You can have a poor showing in one event, but if you make it up in the next 3, you've got a chance here. As we see Jennifer trying to fight to get back on. 376 equalized watts here. So she's going about her 100% right now, as Casey Shum at 460 above it, fighting to get back, fighting to close that gap to Jennifer, to get even the slightest draft, maybe a 10%, maybe a 12% draft here, as he slots back in. He's at 186 equalized heart rate, and that crash has caused Casey to burn a match here. But it looks like he will get back on as Jeff Rooney overlaps the wheels in the front as well. Hopefully we got that one on the replay. Stefan, also a Cade cadet, learning the ropes here, having another crash as he overlaps the wheels. It's good to see Stefan doing well. Just needs to keep the rubber side down, as now Casey's got to make up a 3-second gap. We go on board, first person view. That is Carl Axel Sander, it's Quinton Molinays, and it's Sebastian Kuhn just up the road here, as we can see the difference. This is the front group. Carl, though, does not want Casey to get back. He wants the pace to be kept high here, but there doesn't seem to be the biggest cooperation between the 3 riders in the front. You've got Carl going 230, you got Sebastian at 290 and Quinton at 300 equalized watts, while Casey at 300 has now made it back up here. As Lord Croissant says, let's hear it for the exceptional work by the commentator. Thank you very much, and also massive shout out to Beth York, who was in here earlier today, who did an absolute phenomenal job in the booth. But look at this. Sebastian Kuhn has made a gap. Now you've got to be attentive. You've got to be awake. This is what happened on Saturday in Roman Arena, and Quinton doesn't fall for the same mistake twice here. He goes with it. Can Casey Shum, with tired legs, follow this? Quinton marks the gap, as you can see on Sebastian's screen, but he comes into the corner here a bit hot, 33 kilometers an hour. Oh, Carl Axel Sander on the limit. So the attack by Sebastian Kuhn has been neutralized. Stefan has gone down, and Jennifer Garcia now is the next rider, trailing 5 seconds down. She's at 190 equalized heart rate. We've got 2 laps remaining, and she can see the 4 riders up ahead. And if she can make up this gap, there are 22 possible points for Jennifer to make up if she can get back into the group in the front and contest for the victory. But it's a tough challenge here, as they are continuing the relentless upping of the pacing, as Carl Axel Sander goes again. And this is what happens when you have 4 riders from 4 different nationalities, 4 different parts of the world here, and they all have different agendas. Sebastian doesn't want the same as Casey. You've heard Sebastian say he doesn't trust his sprint. We know Quinten trusts it. We know that Casey somewhat trusts it. But Sebastian and Carl here, they will be looking to try and spice things up as we come around. Now, Quinten is attacking this corner. Look at this. 400, 530 equalized watts here as Quinten Molinez is slowly riding away. And this could be it. Casey Shum and Quinten, good friends in real life. I think they'll be looking to perhaps take turns on the front here as they are creating a gap. Two solo riders finding themselves in a move. Quinten moves 2 spots over. Casey slows down as he comes on the inside. 3 kilometers remaining here, Mixer chat. What do you think of the racing so far? You can see on the scoreboard how the racing is currently looking with the real-time scoring leaderboard. Casey 79, Quinten 69, Carl also at 69, with Sebastian at 68. It is incredibly close currently at the very top here, as we're now seeing the racers having to react as Casey Shum, Quinten get brought back with Sebastian Kuhn in the action. Looking further down the race, and we'll stay here, but I'll give you an update. We've got Jennifer 12 seconds down in no man's land. We've got Carl Axel Sander putting on the headset. Let's get an update from Carl. Carl, are you happy with the situation?
Oh, yeah, I guess I've done well in the race. Until now, point, I don't think I've going that much more than anyone else in this breakaway. So yeah, it's going to come down to who makes the right move. Probably an attack of 2 is going to go away, and the two other ones is going to fight against it after each other, I think.
I like the prediction, Carl. Let's go and get a word from your opponent in this group. Quinten, 2.2 kilometers to go. Are you happy with this 4-man group?
Nope, not at all.
Why not?
Yeah, I would have wanted to be away with Casey, so...
I'll let you get back to it. We're in a tight corner here. Sorry, Quinten. I just saw the corner coming up. Thank you for quickly taking the word there. I saw Quinten at 168 equalized heart rate and took my chance. 2 kilometers to go. Ring the bell. Final lap. You've heard Carl Axel Sander thinking it'll be a 2-man break here. And Quinten hoping he could have been away with his friend Casey Shum, but it wasn't meant to be. This is the top of CVRcade riders, all in a group here, as they are going to have to battle this one out with their minds and their legs. Now we've got a rider moving up here on the right-hand side, as it looks to be Quinten Molinez over to the side. Sebastian getting a lot of shelter here. Sebastian Kuhn getting the draft here as they pass a lapped rider out on the map. But I cannot stress how close it is at the top in the second race here. And then after this, we've got Submerged, we've got Lakeview Circuit. There's so much left, but Casey Shum opening up a slight gap here. 1 second, 2 second here. Casey Shum is riding away. Is anyone going to react? This is the Casey special. This is number 21 you can order at your local pizzeria. Bit of pepperoni on top with a bit of a sprinkle of surprise attack as Casey Shum is going away. 2 seconds, 1 second. Sebastian is aware and awake as the helicopter view coming into high effect there. We're coming up to a corner. Quinten on the inside getting the draft. Carl's coming in hot. Carl's coming in way too hot, but he breaks. He saves it. And we're on the final kilometer, finishing straight here. Wind coming from left to right as Casey gets the block on Carl. Quinten goes. Carl can't believe it. He looks into the screen, and instead of going with the attack, he is bickering. He's complaining. Now Quinten taking advantage of the situation. 2 seconds. He is getting away here. It's been going back and forth as Stefan crashes again, as Mutt KG is giving him some praise in the chat. Quinten Molinez, 3 second gap. He's in the TT position. We've got back and forth here, as they can see Quinten going to the front. He will not get caught with 500 meters to go. Quinten Molinez is suffering. He is going for it as Sebastian Kuhn is trying to attack away. You can see the helicopter view on the left. No Carl, no Casey just yet. They're still going hard though. All 3 riders around 800 equalized watts, emptying the tank. Look at Sepp, look at Quinten. The faces tells you everything you need to know. But Carl is closing in. 200 meters. Carl Axel Sander, the Swedish chef. He is cooking something up here, and he's got the outside lane, but he breaks. He breaks. He doesn't want to get too close, and now he moves on up. Quinton Molinez wins event 2. Carl at 198. They slide on through, and Carl Axel Sander takes second. Sebastian Kuhn third. Further down, it is Jennifer Garcia coming across the line here in 5th as she takes home 38 points. Good effort from her, Jeff Rooney, Vibeke Bertram, and the rest. As we catch the finishing here of Jeff Rooney. Oh my goodness, that was good. Jeff Rooney will come 6th, Vibeke further down. We've got the instant replays coming up as we get ready for the next one. And as we're watching the instant replays, Quinton, you weren't happy with the group. You end up winning it, but at what cost? How much did that take out of you?
I don't really need to count any matches because I've used way too many in the previous zone. So it's just a matter of surviving. And I saw that Casey got a lucky block on Carl when he swapped lanes. And then I saw everybody wasn't really up to my momentum. So I just decided to give it a go. And it looks like it was a classic case of 3 guys looking at each other to close the gap. So I could get away with the win.
It panned out well. Now we go on Submerged Stadium. You had some trouble with it earlier today with Timothy and Ben in here. How confident are you with your Submerged Stadium?
Not too much. I mean, I'm okay with my experiences on it, as in my technique is okay, up to date to win this. But I mean, we got Sebastian in here and Carl in here, so it's gonna be a tough one.
On that note, Carl Axel Sander looked like he was getting quite frustrated coming into that final straight with Casey throwing down the either purposely full or accidental block. Carl, was it a bit of looking around there towards the end? I thought you said 2 riders were gonna go.
Oh no, it didn't happen. I was going for an outside in the last corner 1K to go. I was doing attack there, got good speed up then, but then Casey came and blocked me, and no, it was not a block. He was just moving to the right lane where you want to be. So, but then I thought I dodged him in the last second, but I got behind him anyway. So I'm glad I didn't face the crash. So yeah, congratulations to Quinton. He was was the right moment to attack there, and we were the ones who were just sitting around looking for each other. So I think yeah, he's probably tired now, but I don't think he burned more than anyone else. So yeah. Good one by him.
Good one by him. Carl, good luck here in Submerged Stadium. Let's hear from Sebastian Kuhn here, because Seb on the last race, he dug deep just like the rest. You hear Carl say that he thinks everybody burned the same amount of matches. Seb, that last race, how come you didn't go with Quinton? Was it the case that you wanted Casey and Carl to go, or what were you thinking?
I think I burned some boxes more of matches than the others. I could not go with Quinton, and Casey and Quinton played a little team tactic, so there was no way to attack.
But again, Seb, here you're only finding yourself 5 points down, 3 at the top, all within 5 points, and you have Casey Shum a bit further down. 2 events left in this Omnium. How do you feel? Are you confident? Are you ready? Do you feel like you've got what it takes to beat Quinton, Carl, and Casey here towards the end?
No, I hope I make the time limit in these last 2 events and then go to bed.
Oh, Seb, always amazing. Let's get a word from Casey Shum, the 4th rider in the front group as well. Casey, how fun was that last event? Because that was back and forth and everything. You put the block on as well. How was that to race?
Yeah, it was good. I mean, I'm happy with a 4th there for Reckon in the second corner. It took me a lot to get back, so I just didn't have the kick at the end. Quinton goes up the road like that. That's a good move. If that's anybody else and Quinton's in the pack with me, we're going to cover that move. But being Quinton, I just let it go. And if he can stay away, it's his race to have. And you can see there at the end, I couldn't hang with Jesper. With Carl and Seb. Just that chase back took a little too much out of me. But we'll get a little break here and go after it again.
I'm Carl is almost Danish. I'll let you get away with that one. Denmark, Sweden, same thing. Casey, good luck here on Submerged Stadium. Final word before the racing begins here we'll get from John Pyle, because he comes into this race in 5th, winning the first one, salvaging his performance in the last one. John, did you get a bit of a rest towards the end, or did you have to work hard to maintain your position?
I definitely took a rest. I was hanging out with, you know, the extraneous bits on the course.
Now, Echelon is not the most technically challenging map, and we saw you crash twice. Now we're on Submerged Stadium. This is a bit more technical. Are we expecting more crashes, fewer crashes?
We're expecting more crashes.
I like the open, I like the honesty, John. I think the chat is behind you on this one. They want to see what John Pyle can bring to the table. 1 win already in your bank. Let's see if we can make it 2 here on Submerged Stadium. John Pyle, everybody out of the US of A. 30 seconds to go until the racing begins. Submerged Stadium, you've got 1 Quantum Shift, 1 Uncrashable, and 1 Underdog. So in this race here, earlier today, it came down to the final lap. It was Timothy Tamont with a well-timed uncrashable corner caper. So a well-timed uncrashable and Quantum Shift that really made the difference as he flew through the group. I'm sure they'll have watched how this paid out earlier today, and we could see some similar moves, some similar strategies, but it's going to come down to who is in the right place at the right time as the 3rd event here on Submerged Stadium gets underway. We've got a rider up the front, Quentin Molyneux already, Sebastian Kuhn, Casey Shum. It's the usual suspects so far of this Omnium, and you heard Quentin say not too confident about his skills here on Submerged Stadium, but he knows, and we've seen this before from both Quentin and Casey, that if you get out in the front here, you dictate the pace. You've got the advantage of choosing your lanes as you come through the corner here. We're only 35 seconds into the racing here, but they've already created a gap of 5 seconds down to Carl, 3 seconds down to Seb. And this is a strong start from the Belgian Quentin Molyneux and Casey Shum from the United States of America as they're trying to move up the rankings here. You see Seb chasing on. You can see the scoreboard on the left here. Quentin here will be gaining a 19-point advantage if it was to end right here going into Lakeview Circuit. You got Casey Shum, you got Quentin Molyneux, 5 seconds down. Good performance from the rest of the riders in here as well. Jeff Rooney is now catching up, and you know, with the biggest scoring multiplier being last, don't sleep on Jeff Rooney, don't sleep on Jennifer Garcia or John Pyle here. They could very well be moving up the rankings if they have a stellar performance here on event 4 of 4. Do you remember, guys, that we've got another Omnium coming up after this, Zone L, which will see more amazing racing when Ryan Goldenberg, Beth York, Ben Shuilong, Nils Heldens, and Vibeke Bertram enter into the broadcast. But look at this, 6 seconds is the gap. It's growing out in the wrong direction, but depending on how Casey versus Quentin finishes here, that heavily impacts the scoring on the Omnium. As you would have seen, Casey on the front just a second ago gives Quentin 129, I think it was, and Casey 121. So we'll see out of the 2 riders who wants it more, who's got the power and who's got the strength to go through 4 laps of Submerged Stadium as Sebastian is still riding hard. Carl Axel Sander here is doing what we've seen him do in the past. He slowly rides negative splits, and every lap he gains and he gains and he gains. Sometimes he gains too slowly, but sometimes he times it to perfection. Now we're going to see him sit on the wheel here of Seb and get a bit of the draft, but he's bringing John Pyle with him. Jeff Rooney is there as well, but John with a fantastic effort so far here as he is getting a draft. And we're seeing what Cognition riders usually do. I mean, Moti has done this plenty of times before. We have seen Alison Kubota, who we are missing a tiny bit in the racing recently. We've seen her do it. Sebastian goes right, Carl goes left, but they just go to the front and they just ride really hard until nobody can follow. But we're seeing Casey and Quentin here taking turns on the front. So these 2 individuals cooperating together because they have a common goal in mind to get away from the chasing group. But you can see they're not entirely gelled here. Quentin wants to get rid of Casey because Casey is a threat. Quentin wants to beat Casey here because he needs that advantage. He needs that gap over Carl Axel Sander and Sebastian Kuhn further down. And if Casey wins this, he is right back in contention for winning if he wins on Lakeview Circuit, the final race here in this Omnium. 1.9 kilometers to go. Don't forget, 1 Quantum Shift, 1 Uncrashable, and 1 Underdog are the supers available. And the further down you are in the rankings, the more effective your Underdog is going to be. You gain 50 equalized watts for every single rider in front of you. So if you are Sebastian, you will gain 150 equalized watts for 10 seconds here as he comes on through. But 12 seconds is the gap. Jeff's coming back, Jennifer's coming back, Nigel and Vibeke are moving on up here as well. So this secondary chase group are definitely playing for some points as well, because here comes Jeff Rooney, and Jeff's not out of the action either. He now moves up a spot on the scoreboard. So Jeff Rooney out of New Zealand here, fighting for his position. He wants to win some money as well. Now, Carl Axel Sander uses Underdog and Quantum Shift. We're about to enter the last race, or the last lap of the race. Uncrashable as well, as he moves on the inside, but this might run out on the end. It doesn't. He pushes on through. 1 kilometer remaining, but he's used every single super. He's got to commit to this. But if we go back to the front, that's where the racing is between these 2 riders. They've got 10 seconds down to a raging Carl Axel Sander. Casey wants Quentin to go faster, but Quentin is looking calm. He's looking composed. Perhaps John's gone down. But perhaps Quentin is just getting in the mind of Casey here. And as John comes back, he then pops Uncrashable. But only 1 crash so far. As now here comes Casey. Underdog gets utilized. 50 extra equalized watts. 600 meters. 1 second. He's got 7 seconds down to Carl. Sebastian, Jeff are using theirs, but this is the finale. Casey with his Underdog used here. Super is gone. 500 meters. These 2 riders. Casey stands up again. He's on the draft. He stays here. He moves on up. He's on the outside of Quentin. He's still in the draft. You can see on Quentin's face, he's starting to feel the suffer. 300 meters to go. Who's gonna go? Casey shakes his head. Quentin moves to the left. Somebody's gotta go. Who's gonna be? 200 meters. This is all that remains. 100 meters. Quentin still on the inside. Casey's got Uncrashable, but so does Quentin. Neither have gone yet. There he goes. Uncrashable. Quantum Shift. He comes on through. Quentin sprints too late. Quentin opens up the engine just a second too late. He comes on clipped, and Casey Shum takes the win in front of Quentin, but Carl Axel Sander has got Sebastian Kuhn sprinting on by, but Carl will take 3rd, Sepp will take 4th, Jeff will take 5th, Jennifer 6th, John, who had 2 crashes on the final lap, will come 7th, but that sprint, ladies and gentlemen, opens up the entire Omnium. Let's see the instant replay once more. And as always, as we've got the instant replay running, Casey, congratulations. It was back and forth, back and forth. I saw at the final end there, you were pushing Quentin to go quicker. Was that what I was seeing?
Yeah, you worked right in my hand there. I wanted you to call it to Quentin, so he thought I was dying. And I just set him up there. I don't know what Q had. I mean, we worked hard, we sprinted hard, but it was good hand-holding cooperation. We each pulled for about a half a lap for 3 laps. And then Carl's little attack there, I was trying to get you to egg Quentin on just so it would dull his sprint a little bit. And yeah, I think it was good. Good fun team play there. Secure the gap, 2 guys, and then take the gloves off. That's how you do it.
I feel ever so slightly used here, Casey, but I'll allow it for now. Good sprint victory. Lakeview Circuit coming up here now. Channel 1, you've just joined us at the conclusion of the first Omnium. We'll conclude this interview with Casey, then I'll tell you exactly what you're watching. But Casey, 1 race remains. You're tied with Carl. You're 8 points down on Quentin. It's pretty much win or go home on this map. What do you think of Lakeview Circuit?
Lakeview Circuit is going to be fun. last time we raced this, I think, was the first time, and Quentin and I had a lot of fun, and we pinned a lot of people. I don't think we're going to be able to do that today. So this is a lot of strategy because you can't go super fast because of the corners. So it's a lot of jockeying for position.
Well, I'm excited to see it all unfold. Casey Shum, everybody. Now, Channel 1, we've got a race coming here. We've got another race coming in 4 minutes' time. As you can see up on the screen, it says, it's time to warm up. The event starts in 4 minutes. We've had 3 races already, and the 4th one here will conclude it. Down below, we've got all the results here as we see the highlights once more of Submerged Stadium. 3 minutes and 55 seconds to go before the next race comes up. The conclusion here to Zone K, and we'll see who's going to walk away with $30, $20, $15, $10, and $5. Quinton Molyneux is our preliminary leader out on course. 129 points. Quinton, that final sprint, I saw you look down to your legs. Did you unclip? Did you run out? What happened over in your place?
My legs were gone after that effort. I knew we were working together, and I think I was a little bit too fanatic in pulling Casey along. He sneakily set up in my wheel in the last lap, and I kind of forgot about it. So when the sprint came around, for one, I fell the earlier zone, and then the other side is I fell the lap that I did just before it. So there was nothing left in the legs. And then on top of that, I kind of lost my headset and it flew around the room.
Wow, whatever makes you go quicker, Quinton, new strategies all around. Quinton Molyneux, everybody, out of Belgium, currently leading, but chasing him down, we've already heard from Casey, Carl Axel Sander is also in here. You're watching physical esports. These riders from their homes are pedaling their own bikes to move a virtual avatar. They've got to dodge these flower beds, they've got to dodge each other. Carl Axel Sander, you're second, you're tied with Casey. Same thing as I said to Casey, win or go home, which will it be?
Oh, yeah, I think I got it. I've done some decent amount of practice at this, so but you know, I have been mistake-free until now, so we'll see. We'll see.
I like it, Carl. You've been our nearly man. You've been ever so close for ever so long. Can today be the day you break the curse and take that victory near the top? Good luck, Carl Axel Sander out of Sweden. And rounding up our interviews here out of Germany, the man who rocked the world on Saturday, Sebastian Kuhn. Are we going to hear the horn at the very end here, or what are you envisioning come the end of this race?
No horn today. No. You can hear the bell from the Besenwagen, the last car in the queue who picks up the lapped riders.
I believe, Seb. On a scale of 1 to dead, where are we at, Seb, on the usual Seb scale?
Dead.
I believe, Seb. 1 minute remaining. You've got all of 770 people tuning into this effort you're putting down right now. Sebastian Kuhn, everybody, out of Germany. We got 1 minute remaining to the final race kicks off. Lakeview Circuit is a technical map. You've got to dodge the flower beds. You've got to be wary of the corner speeds. We've got 4 racers at the top here, heavily contention. Then there's John Pyle, there's Jeff Rooney, there's Jennifer Garcia. They're all down in that 5th spot, 6th spot, 7th spot, and they're fighting for the final bit of money, and any of them wants to take it. They all want to take that bit of money, get off the bike, go buy a McFlurry, go get some nuggets, as Aaron Starling will attest to. We'll see. John Pyle here, winner of the first event. It's been downhill ever since, but maybe he'll put a nice ending to the book here on Lakeview Circuit. Now it starts. 8, 7, 6, 5. Mixer chat, are you ready? Channel 1, you ready? This is going to be all or nothing. 7.2 kilometers of Lakeview Circuit, and they're off. Jeff Rooney out of New Zealand, sprinting with everything he's got. He's got 5th place in mind here in the Omni. He wants more. He wants to go further up. Casey Shum, Quintin Molyneux. It's more the same perhaps from Submerged Stadium as they sit atop of the leaderboard, but Quintin is in not a desirable lane. He wants to move over. We've also got Ryan Goldenberg out of Canada here warming up for the next zone. So he's using this as a bit of practice, a bit of warm-up for the next zone coming up. All the chat says they're ready. Make sure, by the way, Channel 1, to click the little logo that says CVR World Cup down below. That way you stay up to date and you watch the finale of this. But there is a spanner being thrown in the works here. Ryan Goldenberg, who's racing the next zone, is using this to warm up. And in the Mito kit, he is now at the front. And because he is winning and Casey's in second, Casey is half a point across an hour of racing, and they all go down. Casey, Quintin, Ryan, Jeff, they all go down. And just like that, Sebastian Kuhn, John Pyle are in the lead, and Sebastian, who was dead, is now very much alive on the front here. And can Casey, can Quintin make up the gap here as the three riders take it up? What happened there was a flaw. They did not realize what lane they were in. Do we have it on the replay here as we catch it once more coming into the corner? This is where the flower beds are. The gardener forgot to put in the very beautiful dandelions, and instead it is decorated with Ryan, with Casey, with Quintin, and there comes Jeff Rooney as well. One of a kind, now laying across the road on Lake View Circuit. This comes down between Carl and Sepp here, the two riders on the front, but they're being chased down by Quintin, by Casey, down in 5th and 6th here. They're absolutely pushing everything because they know they don't necessarily need to win the Omnium if you're Quintin. Casey, I believe, needs to win, but Quintin, damage limitation here. He's now up in 2nd. He's got 181.5 here. And it is 3 laps remaining. He's come back into 4th spot here, and he's moving on. Lord Croissant says, doing dishes, and I heard I had to run over. Well, I'm glad you're here. Sebastian and Carl on the front. John here as well. But look at Quintin Molyneux. He's pushing it back. He's returned to the front. Casey Shum is 10 seconds down. He has been the biggest victim of the gardening massacre on the first lap. And now Quintin is back in. He passes through John. He passes through Sepp. But he's still 2 points down on Carl, Axel, Sander. But the thing is, we give out bonus points for matching kit and for streaming in with the video and audio. Carl does not have matching kit, but Quintin does. So the 10 extra bonus points are coming into massive play here because Carl needs to look over his shoulder and he needs help from Sepp. He needs help from John here as Carl puts on the headphones as Quintin comes on through. 4.7 kilometers is left. Carl moves over. Quintin currently, man, he just looks unstoppable as John comes through. Carl comes through. Sebastian Kuhn as well. But John with a phenomenal performance so far. He's moving lanes with his arrow keys. You can see his desk. He's on his bike. You can see them moving left and right here as 4 kilometers remain here at the end. As looking further down, Casey Shum is still recovering. He is in 4th on the overall. So he is not moving up just yet. 4.2 kilometers. You got John on the screen. We switched to the side-by-side here. And the scoreboard, as you can see, it is Quintin with 204 points. He's already won $30 this morning. And he's on track to just fatten out his wallet with another $30. And you got Carl Axel Sander in second, 178, 186 here depending on his position. Sebastian, 166.5, Casey, 161. But John here, he's got the incentive. John Pyle could overcome Casey Shum on the scoreboard. That would be quite an impressive feat, taking on one of the best CVRcade racers on the platform. Coming up to the second, finishing up the second lap of racing here. We're at the halfway point. Quinton is just riding on pure anger now, pure adrenaline. He knows what he needs to do. Finish this off. Don't look back, and you've got a chance. In the chasing group, it's John, it's Carl, it's Sepp. Then you've got Nigel, you've got Jeff, you've got Casey, Shum down in 7th here as they move on up. It'd be interesting if we can go down to Casey here, because I see him in 7th. He's fighting on through. Casey, what's the status? What's the legs? How are you feeling?
Yeah, I can't chase this solo. That was my bad there. I was in a good lane. Ryan was in front of us, and I switched 2 lanes to not be stuck behind him. And at the same time, Ryan changed 1 and wrecked, which in my mind was like, oh crap, I didn't move enough, and I hit the button again. So I was good, and I should have trusted it, but instead I reacted to Ryan wrecking. And I think Quentin did the same thing.
It can happen to anybody, Casey. I see Channel 1 is moving on. Thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. But if you want to see the conclusion to this and the next zone of racing, make sure to click the logo down below. It's just down here to the left. If we have ever so slightly captured your imagination, you can watch the racing in here and you can stick around. I see a few of you have done. Thank you very much. And if you are sticking around, make sure to click the follow button down below. But Sebastian Kuhn has returned to the racing here now. He has risen like the phoenix here now with 179 points into 2nd place, moving up above Carl Axel Sander. And once more, we ask the lifelong question of the Swedish chef: when is it going to be Carl Axel Sander's day? In the 4 weeks of racing, he's been ever so close. He still is somewhat here, but Quinton, 7 seconds up the road. Secondary group on the road, we've got Sebastian Kuhn, John Pyle, and Carl Axel Sander. Another 12 seconds back, we've got Nigel Doyle, Jeff Rooney. Then you heard from Casey Shum, who just said, my mistake, I should have trusted my instincts, I shouldn't have swapped the lanes, and now I don't have the legs to catch up. Casey currently in 4th, but it's an interesting development here in the chasing group, because you've got 3 riders all very capable of taking home 2nd place in this race here, and it has big impact on the racing at the top. Seb goes 400 watts as Carl Axel Sander increases his to 700 equalized watts. You see John, he's sitting here, he's in big company, the Swedish chef, the metronome, and make sure chat, let us know what you think John's nickname should be in the chat. The Game Master, whatever else you can come up with. So we'll see. 1.5 kilometers remaining. Quentin still looks solid. 8 seconds is the gap. You've got 1 corner caper, 1 quantum shift available as Carl Axel Sander goes into 2nd place. He's got the lead here now, moving on through. Do you remember, everybody? We've got Zone L coming up just after the conclusion of this. That starts in 7 minutes time, so don't go anywhere as we've got more racing coming up next here. New faces coming in, but right now we're watching the conclusion here of Zone K. 1 kilometer left and Carl has attacked away. Sepp doesn't look like he's got what it takes here to follow through. What we're seeing is the fatigue starting to hit in here. Carl moves on through as he is safe. Further down, John and Sebastian side by side here. And John needs the points, but he needs to go even further up. He's in 5th place here, but he needs to catch Carl. He needs to catch Quinton in order to move up. But John goes on to the attack. He is not going to go down without a fight here. So he pushes on through. 2 seconds is the gap. You can see Carl Axel Sander on the right here. The adrenaline is kicking in. John Pyle with corner caper, with quantum shift. He's got his supers here. He tries to come through the corner here. Will it last? It lasts that corner, but this one might be a tight squeeze. It runs out and he saves it. John Pyle, Carl Axel Sander as John comes over the top, but he's still 5 points down on Casey. Casey, though, with this happening, he's got a chance to move into 3rd place. Carl Axel Sander comes around with his corner caper. He moves up on the inside with quantum shift as well. 200 meters on the top. Quinton has used his supers. he is going to cross the finish line and he will be crowned the winner of not only Zone E, but also Zone K. Quentin Molyneux, everybody, of Belgium. Second place will go to Carl Axel Sander, and then you've got John Pyle across the line in third, Sebastian Kuhn in fourth, Nigel Doyle, Jeff Rooney, Casey Shum. Man, that was a good Omnium. And now we've got 4 minutes until we go again. The scoreboard, as you can see, Quentin, Carl, Seb, Casey, and John. But of course, that's pending an official look by the commissioners and also bonus points being applied. Jeff Rooney, so he'll finish here. We've got Casey Shum, we got Jennifer, and also the MVP of the day, Stefan H., the IKEA specialist, who's making his entree, his entry onto the racing. Here's Casey Shum, comes across Jeff Rooney towards the end. Let's go on here from Quentin Molyneux here as we watch Casey come across the line. Quentin, Zone E, Zone K, how do you keep doing it?
I don't know. I might have made a deal with the devil. I'm not sure if you realize, but there was a rumor going around that Team Cycling Up actually made a deal with the devil, and I was the one to make it. And the deal was that we would win every physical race on CVRcade, but we had to pick one day where we couldn't. So I thought I was going to be smart, and I'm going to give him the day that only happens once every 4 years, the leap day. And guess what day it was? Saturday.
Mixer chat, what do you reckon of that one? That one I'll leave up to the mixer chat. We'll probably allow it because he's had 2 very hard hours of racing. But Quentin, congratulations. Excellent effort. When you crashed and you got back on, was it full-on panic stations?
It was full-on standard mode. I just needed to keep it over FTP and get very comfortable there, which is not really something you do. I think I got lucky because the guys in front weren't really working together. I also noticed it when I sat on their wheel that I was like, okay, I might as well just go over the top now and hope that they look again at each other, which also happened. So they kind of lost it themselves, maybe. I don't know. But of course, it's very normal for 3 people who are riding solo to look at each other.
Well, Quentin, great effort nonetheless. We got 3 minutes until the next one comes up. It was a fight near the end there at the back. Let's go and hear from Carl Axel Sander if he's still in, because I believe Ryan might be coming in any second. Carl, once more, it was so close. What's it going to take to that final spot?
Oh, a little bit more. I was happy with today. Not perfect, but no real mistakes. So I guess I'm happy with the second there. And I think I'm not getting bonus points for yours, so I have to. I was thinking I have to be 10 points ahead of the one behind me, but I think I made second. Actually, I'm happy with that.
It's impressive, Carl. 2 minutes to go. Thank you for joining in and making the broadcast awesome. We've also got Casey Shum quickly before it all runs out. Casey, again, it's not something we usually see from you, falling like that on the last one. Will you be able to recover and go again later today in T?
I'm not sure if I'll be back for T or not. I'm going to start L here, but I'm not sure how hard I'll go. But yeah, I had 2 mistakes today, and that cost me a win. Honestly, I think it's Quentin and I 1-2 scrapping among ourselves if I didn't make 2 mistakes. I wrecked on Echelon, that was my bad. And then I wrecked on that one, it was my bad too. Ryan impacted me there, but I've got to be better than that. So nothing to be upset about other than keeping my focus and going after it. So yeah, 4th is a good finish there. Had a shot at the podium with 1 mistake. 2 mistakes, I can't do it.
Well, Casey, always good to have you in the broadcast. 1 minute and 20 seconds, everybody. That concludes Zone K of the racing today, and we look forward to Zone L. We've got Dark Matter Tech once more, Echelon, Submerged Stadium, and Lakeview Circuit. Joining us in the broadcast will be Ryan Goldenberg. It'll be Ben Shuilong, Niels Heldens, Beth York, Vibeke Bertram, and a few familiar faces will go again here from Zone K. I think Sebastian Kuhn. I think we've got Casey. He says he's going to start it. So it'll be fun to see how this one pans out. I hope everybody's enjoyed it so far. It's great to see the chat light up with so many familiar faces as we catch the highlights of Zone K one more time as we see the celebration on Quentin Molinez. Wanted that one badly. And now we get ready. Ben Shuilong jumping on the bike. He is ready as always. 25 seconds. There's plenty of time to spare before the first event as we get a smile from Ben as well. So here we go, everybody. Another hour of action-packed CVRcade racing. I hope you've got your snacks ready, your drinks. You've got a nice blanket keeping you comfortable. We'll see as Niels Heldens here on the screen as the racing begins. Dutch national kit, him and Wim Moysen both got the same taste. Let's see if that's going to be the secret sauce to taking the victory here on the first race. It is dark matter tech without quantum shift as an ability. You've got uncrashable, you got corner caper, and then you're given one quantum shift as a super and one comeback kit as a super. And the comeback kit played a major role in the first two zones. We'll see if it will do the same here in Zone L. Everybody moves over to the right here. Sebastian with tire legs in the back. Quinton also back here starting L. I reckon Casey and Quinton, if they get a good start here, they may be looking at taking this zone as well. As we've got Ryan Goldenberg, who's also joining us here in the broadcast, but he has been shelled very early on. He is staying with the bots, maybe getting caught off guard with the quantum shift not being activated from the gun here. And we'll see him staying with Margaret, with Hedy, with Clarence, and Elon further back. Ben Shuilong, 5th place. He's been getting steadily better. He raced Zone E earlier this morning, where he finished in 3rd place ahead of Peter Kastrup in 4th. That was a heavily contested zone. We've got Beth York as well here, who is joining us. She waves as she gets ready for the racing. She's got her glasses on. She's got the headset on. But this race so far, it's not the 100 kilometers an hour that we've seen before in the low skill event. We've got 3 riders making a breakaway here. It's Quinton, it's Nils, and it's Beth York who are going on to the attack here. They've got a 2-second gap down to Ben Shuey along Sebastian Vibeke. Looks like Casey's also hanging on to the very end of the group further down. So we'll see. We got Sushi Salmon, also known as John Piles, is just going to watch this one. Well, it's good to have you in, John. Phenomenal effort in Zone K. I'm glad to have you here watching Zone L with us. First lap soon coming to a conclusion here. We got 3 riders off the front, and we're seeing them work together. We're seeing Nils, we're seeing Beth, we're seeing Quinton, all trying to take a turn on the front. Here's Ben Shuilong with comeback kit. He activates his super, and this means he doesn't have it in the finale, but it is rather effective in an event like this. And like that, it comes to an end. He hits the back of Quinton, but he achieved what he wanted to achieve. He's back in the front group here. Casey is using his. He'll get back onto Vibeke, but can he come around? So he's trying to get the last bit of effort out of the legs here, as we'll see him coming on through. He's got comeback kit, 367 equalized watts more for 45 seconds or until he catches Vibeke Bertram, who's currently up ahead of him here. So Niels Heldens 180, you got Ben 172, Beth 168, Sebastian is 183. He's coming back here, so the equalized heart rates as Casey Shum with quantum shift flies on by. He gets just barely bumped into Ben Shuilong as everybody moves to the left to take the inside lane, and they move to the right here. But what we're seeing on this low skill event is that everybody very aware of each other. You got equalized heart rates around the 170s, around the 180s. Everybody looking at each other. If you don't make any major mistakes, you can keep something in reserve. And then we see an explosion near the finish of a sprint. Will we see more of the same here, or will somebody dare to go early? We've got the helicopter view. As you can see, Niels Heldens, he is sitting here about 3rd position on the inside, getting a draft behind Quinton Molinez. That we've got Ben Shuilong moving over to the left. 7 riders making up the front group, but Ryan Goldenberg is making it back. Ryan here is sitting with the bot patrol. He's 5 seconds back. If Ryan Goldenberg times his comeback kit here, he's got a chance of making it back with 2 kilometers to go. If he thinks about it with a comeback kit, he's got a chance of moving it up. He's got Margaret attacking him around here. We'll see if he does think about it. Could be a good strategy, but it's also a very risky one, as 5 seconds is the gap. We go back to the front group. Vibeke Bertram here making it up in second place. She's moved on up. Sebastian Kuhn back for more back-to-back zones, but it looks like his legs may finally be reaching their limit here, as he is being distanced from the front group. 300 equalized watts, 40 kilometers an hour. He is now slowly being propelled out of the back of the group. Beth, Nils, Casey, Vibeke, but there he goes. That might have been on purpose. He's got Comeback Kid being utilized now. He moves on through with Quantum Shift. That was Sebastian's plan. Sebastian was playing dead. Comeback Kid, Quantum Shift. 1.3 kilometers to go. But what Sebastian has just subscribed himself to is 1.2 kilometers of absolutely everything here. And he hasn't come down. He has not come down from 800 equalized watts. He does so now. He thought that was the final lap. Sebastian thought that was the final lap. He says it's all mental. 900 meters to go. He covers his eyes. He does a Moti Pikelny, but in doing so, he opens it up here as Beth York. We've seen Sepp do it twice before now. So Beth and Vibeke are going to come through here as they dodge a Sebastian who's got his head down in shame. But what's it going to be? Nils Heldens with Comeback Kit getting activated here. He moves on through. It gets stopped though. Sebastian Kuhn, a trailing Sebastian Kuhn here, ends the Comeback Kit. Nils Heldens, 2 seconds is the gap. 2 seconds, 1 second. He's coming quick here. 500 meters. All supers looks to be off the table here, but Quinton may have his left still. As Nils uses Quantum Shift. He goes. This is 400 meters out. He gives it everything. Quinton has got Comeback Kid as well. He is in fourth. He's trying to come back, but I think it could be too little, too late for the Belgian, because we've got 200 meters remaining. Nils on the front. Beth is making it back now, but it is 100. We've got one left-hand turn. Beth versus Nils. Beth with a Quantum Shift on the line here. It will be Nils Heldens who takes the win. We get the celebration. Beth just a second too late. And Ryan Goldenberg will be 5th. Casey will be 6th. Ben will be 7th. And then we've got to hear from Sebastian Kuhn. Sepp, what was that?
I could dig a hole in my basement and get into it. I can't read the numbers. I'm so bad I can't read the numbers. I got to quit now. Enough for today.
That's the second time I've seen you commit that crime, Sepp. What's the punishment?
Don't remember me.
Don't remember me.
I hope I find the way to the shower now.
Sepp, oh my god, that was... Sepp, I hope you can find it in you to stick around and battle it out here towards the end. But regardless, thank you for making all of us have a great laugh. Sorry that it's at your expense on the final lap. Sebastian Kuhn giving it everything one lap too early. On the other side, we're watching the highlight. Nils, your celebration here. Quite epic, but that sprint versus Beth, I mean, talk me through that finale.
Yeah, I didn't expect Sepp to drop off so early, so I popped the comeback in. I believe that he would be closer to Beth and Vibeke, but that didn't work, unfortunately. So that one was more, I sent it, so I might as well stick to it. And when I came through the duo, I just said, well, just pop the comeback in now and get through them, get a gap, which I sort of held to the finish, but diminished quite a bit. So, yeah, it was quite a good finish, I reckon.
Oh, that was awesome. That was fun to watch, Nils. Now, you've had the pleasure of watching E and watching K. Was there any takeaways you took from that? Anything you learned from watching the others race this zone?
Well, I didn't watch them because it was at uni, so nothing to take away from them. But obviously, I have a group chat within Cycling Up, so I did get some information, but I haven't watched the zones yet.
Well, Could be your downfall, could be your saving grace, not knowing what you're in for. Nils Heldens,
Probably the
everybody.
latter.
Out of the Netherlands leading the first one. We have Beth York as well, who, I mean, 1 second earlier that sprint is launched and we're looking at a different result. First of all, welcome Beth, but that finale, so close.
So close too, and I was trying to watch. I knew on the curve I could make some up using him as a lead out. I watched his comeback kid expire. Just wanted to stay with him as long as I could. So just late on the trigger there. If I had 10 more meters, I think I would have overtaken him even if I had 5. But yeah, that was interesting because comeback kid by Sebastian kind of broke us apart. Vibeke and I both activated our comeback kid. She did it first. I did it second. We ended up, I wanted to follow her out, but on a lane change and inadvertently disabled it, where I don't think we passed each other. So I mean, maybe we did in the lane, but it didn't look like it. So I was like, ah, shucks. So coordinate that timing too could have saved us a little bit of energy as well. But good racing. I kind of like that. I liked racing that without quantum shift. I know it's a little bit harder, but it does change the skill some.
Now, Echelon coming up next. Unlike Nils, you have actually watched at least one zone today, because I know you commentated E. What did you take away from watching the zone?
I took away quite a bit, actually. Maybe my brain will recall it in the proper time, and not 20 seconds late. Echelon it's a hard course. It looks like what's different from today. I might be wrong. There was a head and tailwind. This one looks like it's a crosswind. So that'll change the dynamics a little bit. So this one's kind of tricky that it can sneak up on you if you are pushing on the corner speeds. Yeah, 2-point multiplier. So if I want to get 2 here rather than 2 on submerge, which is a little bit higher skill, it's kind of the same amount of points. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Or you can go out and just get both Echelon and Submerge, but...
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man, but I just like to keep it inside, then I don't have to rally back. Oh, but let me tell you, watermelon peeps, they're pink. They're so amazing. Anyway.
And that, everybody,
secret weapon.
is their secret weapon. The more you know.
We'll see.
Beth York, everybody. 1 minute, 15 seconds until we go. We've got Luis Sobranis, we've got Crucial Ball, we've got Timothy Tamont, all joining into the broadcast in the chat. Thank you so much for watching. Got 1 minute to go here. You can see the scoring down below. Last zone, it was Quentin Molyneux with a solo attack to leave Sebastian Kuhn, Carl Axel Sander, and Casey Shum in the dust. We got Quentin Molyneux back here. Quentin Shum would be a powerful human being, but Quentin Molyneux still rather strong in here. He's back for more in this zone, it looks like. We'll see if his legs can carry him for a 3rd zone here in a row. Vibeke Bertram, we're getting a great sight here of the Velocity Vixen jersey and the logo on the left-hand shoulder. So we'll see Vibeke Bertram out of Denmark get ready to race. She came 4th in the last race. We've also got Ben Shuilong, as you've already seen. He's raced 1 Omnium earlier today in Sony, but with 13 seconds to go, let's get going for 4 laps of Echelon. 4 km/h wind coming from right to left here. And now the riders are going to get underway. Sebastian Kuhn, not in the shower. He is confirmed still on the bike here. So Sebastian can't leave on that note. He's gonna come out here with a vengeance, with a power, with an anger, with a willingness to prove he's got something left out here. So we'll see Sebastian Kuhn out of Germany. Also got Jennifer Garcia in the chat after Racing Zone K saying go Beth, let's go. Quentin off to an early start. Casey, Vibeke, Ben. This gathering here, this draft is forcing everybody to work a tiny bit harder because the wind is taking away that simple draft when everybody stays in one line. And we see a rider moving up there on the right. Looks to be Nils Heldens, who just wants to move on up and take to the front. And everybody reacting the same way here. Quentin is there. You got Casey Shum moving on through. This is Casey Shum on the attack. He's got 200 equalized watts, so it looks like Niels and Casey here, two guys trying to attack away from the rest. If they can get that bit of separation here, this looks like a move being put on the other riders, because Quentin is sitting further down. He is not really pedaling that hard. Vibeke hasn't moved, Ben hasn't moved, Sebastian hasn't moved, and it's Beth York who's being forced here to react to it as she sits in third place. She looks on up. She was the closest rider to Nils Heldens on Dark Matter Tech, and here she goes again. She slows down, she knows there's a tight corner coming up here, and she breaks to 31 kilometers an hour as Casey crashes. How did Casey crash there? That is an interesting crash. He may have attempted to go left. I'm not even sure. You got Casey on the outside. I reckon he just goes left. I think he tries to move in one lane too early, and in doing so he crashes once more on Echelon. It is a mistake-riddled day here from Casey Shum that we're not used to seeing. Maybe the fatigue is getting to Casey. He's been riding hard, and another mistake here from Casey as he crashes on down. But I'm sure that he's going to get back stronger. He'll use that as fuel, and it's definitely not the last we've seen here. As we got Casey Badger, Casey with the two questions. Am I wrong, Casey? I don't think Casey's in the live stream anymore. I think Casey has left, but Casey with the two question marks in the chat. We've got one long group here on the front, all on the right hand side here, and it's whoever's furthest to the right here that gets the most drafts. So we've got Sebastian far right, we've got Vibeke Bertram far right here, so they're all getting a nice doses of draft here as Quentin moves on over. Ryan Goldenberg, he's got the Mito kit in real life, he's got the Mito kit in the game, and Casey goes, I don't know, question mark, question mark, question mark. Casey Shum, very confused, but he did just crash. Now, Ryan Goldenberg coming on up here. Like the new matching kit. I like Ryan Goldenberg normally racing for velocity, but it looks like he has chosen to go with the new Mito jersey in the game. He's trying to show that he's got the velocity somewhere, but if it's out of frame, it's out of mind. You can point all you want to the frame. It's purple. It's close. let's put Ryan on audio. What's up, Ryan?
It's a solo cup.
I know. That's why I said usually on a Saturday, but we'll let it ride. It's good to have you in the broadcast. While I have you, Ryan, looks like you're fresh today. Are you ready for this zone?
Well, I don't know if I'm fresh, but oh, 1 second, turning team audio off. We decided we were going to try to work together with velocity. So when I say velocity, I mean the speed. Yeah, so just doing what I can. Work together in the front here.
Ryan Goldenberg in the solo cup here. We'll see. 5.6 kilometers to go as Ryan Goldenberg is on the front here. Fulford says, Casey, I think you need to work on your cornering. And Casey replies with, I was trying to throw an elbow, but I lost my balance. Well, it can happen to the best, Casey. We've got Nils here on the left. We've got Beth on the right. Could this be Beth's day on the front? Nils has been getting stronger and stronger. He was the sensation of Season 1 of the CVRcade World Cup. Excellent performance, brought him up to the grand finale. We'll see what he can bring here in Season 2. He's been getting stronger, he's been getting better and smarter here as we come on through once more to the second straightaway. As with 5 kilometers remain here on Echelon. Again, it is a pure skill race. No supers here. You've gotta ride with your legs, you gotta ride with your mind, you've gotta make decisions at the right time. It is why Quentin got away in the first zone, and we've got a big peloton here ranging across the road. We've got Quentin, we've got Sebastian, we've got Nils, we've got Ryan, we've got Beth, we've got Vibeke, all still here in the front racing with 4.7 kilometers to go. Ben at 167. Ben, so far so good here. How much of a draft are you getting right now?
47%.
Sounds like comfortable.
In a good position, yeah. Saving some energy, I hope.
saving some energy. Ben, 47% draft here as he's sheltered from the wind, but he's not the only one who's getting a rather large drafting percentage here. And this means that, you know, some of the riders in here, they're going to have more to give. Ben is at 159 equalized heart rate. You can see his gauge where it is, and definitely enjoying the ride so far. Who's going to be the first one to launch as 2 laps are coming to a conclusion? We've got Crucial Ball saying, Beth, you can do it. Or Ben. Definitely hedging his bets there. Going 2 directions as we come on through here. DK says, go Vipaka. Let us know in the chat. Who are you cheering for? We got DK for Vipaka. You got Crucial Ball who goes for both Beth and Ben. So seemingly anyone starting with a B. So we'll see if anyone else is out there. But Ryan on the right hand side giving a draft to the riders on his left, but he just wants to fight for his position. 3.9 kilometers to go. Everybody's still here, but a move is happening. Don't sleep on this. Ryan is moving on up. Beth moving on up. Vibeke as well. And it's Ben Shuilong on the inside, as we can see here from the helicopter point of view, who's trying to make it up to Beth York here. But Beth, I've not seen her this concentrated, this zoned in a long time. Beth, I think she really wants to take this win, and she looks poised to do it. Good performance in the first event. So far, so good here. She broadcasted Zone E earlier today, so she knows the ins and the outs to watch for here. But the question is she spending too much energy? She's at 181 equalized heart rate. Sebastian is at 175, Quentin at 180. So there is a bit of a discrepancy here. As Mutt KG says, get it, Beth. So she's also a team Bether. We'll see Sebastian here on the back. He's getting a draft as well, but he's going ever so slightly out the back. We've got 2 echelons, 2 rows across the road here, and now we're coming up. You've got to be careful. If you hit this too fast, you will crash. If you hit it too slow, you'll have to accelerate even quicker out of it. And you see Sebastian, he sprints here to the right. He moves on up. 3 kilometers remaining. Next time we cross the start-finish banner, that will be it. If you are racing in a physical replay, which I think I most likely will be doing tomorrow. I'll be doing one of these zones. I hope you're sitting in there. I hope you're pushing on through. I hope you're moving with the wind. Even if you're getting guttered by some of these riders, stick with it. You can do it. So I'm saying that to future Jesper, but also future whoever else wants to do a physical replay of any of these zones. We got Casey Batcher, also a Beth fan. So Beth has brought out the whole fan club here today in the Mixer chat. We can expect them on Lakeview Circuit with banners, with horns, with all sort of confetti. We'll see as you get ready. Vibeke is moving on up. There's still 7 riders here. Casey Shum is the only rider that has been dropped from the pack here. Side by side, Beth York and Niels Heldens. 15 points the difference on the top of the scoreboard. Beth chewing away on her peeps like she's chewing away on the competition here on Echelon. 2 kilometers to go. Timothy is a Ben fan, so it seems split down the middle between Beth and Ben here, but you know, that just gives a bit of, you know, motivation, a bit of a bit of energy to the rest here, proving you guys wrong, because here we go. Somebody ring the bell. Last 2 kilometers of racing here. Sebastian goes down in the corner. Vibeke is moving. This is it. It's almost like the final lap. They heard the bell and they all just panicked. They're like, oh, we gotta do something. Vibeke is going. Ryan looks to be going. Only really Sebastian Kuhn, who's suffering from the earlier mistake here. As Quentin is also down here. Niels is trying to fight on back. Totally out of the draft. Wim is a Niels Heldens fan saying, let's go. Niels Heldens here. Number 6 in the Team Cycling Hub colors out of the Netherlands. He has to move on up. Beth now going backwards. You can see her talking at the screen. She's trying to tell her avatar, go quicker, come on, push, push, push. Now Niels stands up. He's still out of the draft. He's at 190 equalized heart rate, and he's still not gotten back on. This heavily favors the front 4 here, front 5, because they haven't had to spend the same amount of energy. Quentin moves to the right here. He gets ready for the turn coming up very soon. He doesn't want to be in the way. He accelerates so you can come to the front and move on over. Winner of Zone E, winner of Zone K. Will he be winner of Zone L as well? That would be unbelievable. But if someone's going to do it, it could very well be Quentin Molyneux. Here we go. Final straightaway. Final straight. 1 kilometer to go. Quentin stands up because Vibeke Bertram is attacking. 196 equalized heart rate. 197. She's giving it everything she's got here. 690 equalized watts with 800 meters to go. She's not looking back. She's officially hit 201 equalized heart rate. She is gone. But Ben Shuilong is chasing her down in second position here. He's gonna have to fight on through. This is a long sprint. 600 meters. Vibeke Bertram 203, 204 equalized heart rate. She has broken the gauge. But Ben Shuilong is coming back. Ben has reached Vibeke. They can't sleep on this. They can't rest because Ryan, because Beth are coming quickly from behind here. 300 meters to go. The riders can see them just up the road here. Both Ben and Vibeke are 190 equalized heart rate. Vibeke 199, Ben 193, but the sprint is on. One of the front two is going to win it. Ben goes over the top for the second time today on echelon. Ben is trying to win it. He leaves Vibeke in the wake. Does he break in time? Yes, he does. What about Vibeke? She gets second place. Down in third, Quentin Molyneux will beat a Niels Heldens who crosses. Niels, heartbreak on the final corner. He takes out the headphones. I don't blame him. There's more racing where that comes from. Sebastian Kuhn, one mistake away. He's down in seventh. And eighth is Casey Shum. Let's see the instant replay. Now, Ben, you did say you're feeling good. You had 47% draft. You utilized it. But that effort to close down Vibeke, talk me through the decision making.
I just thought I'd saved a lot of energy during the whole race. So I thought, you know, this is time to make it pay. You know, I thought, yeah, I can bridge up. Maybe no one will chase and I can get a little rest. So, yeah, super pleased with that. I took it easy in the last race. I didn't feel so good in the first one, but better in this one. So, yeah, very pleased.
Excellent effort, Ben. I mean, that was so close. I saw 200 equalized heart rate. But let's go and talk to the sprinter you went up against. Somebody who basically risked everything. Vibeke, what were you thinking?
Well, the legs felt okay, so I thought, why not have it a go? Nobody was doing anything, so why not? But I should have waited 200 meters or something. But usually I get over sprinted, so I'm not good at the sprints, so I'm starting to learn this.
But 204 equalized heart rate I saw. What did that feel like? Because you've got good legs. I mean, you're pushing your boundaries.
Yeah, that was pretty high. That's also why I had to let him go in the end. So it was hard, but I'm feeling okay. I'm well now.
Use that to your advantage because we got Submerged Stadium coming up next, Vibeke. Good luck. I'll let you get ready. We heard from Ben. We heard from Vibeke. Coming on back here. Niels down in sixth. Niels, that last corner, last sprint. What happened?
Well, I took the outside line, and usually when you take that line, you get people sliding into you. But I think my speed was a bit too high to force that mistake on people. I think I went in at like 42, if I'm correct. I don't know really. Well, that is too quick for that corner, so I probably slid out and people bumped into me that way, which pushed me further out. And again, because I had overspeed coming into the corner, I crashed. So I probably timed my braking a bit wrong. But yeah, those are mistakes. They happen. As Bob Ross would call them, they will be happy little accidents. So they happen, but yeah, we have 2 more races left, and I like this course. So we'll see what happens.
You've won this map in the past on Submerged Stadium. This is one of the higher scoring multipliers at 2. This is far from over. Is this the one where Niels Heldens bounces back?
We'll see. Obviously, we're very arrogant to say now it's going to happen, but yeah, we'll see how the race develops and if mistakes are made by me or by others, or how the power-ups are used, how people recover from that last race. Because as you can see, even though you were in the drop, you have to sprint pretty quick out of the corner because the wind direction basically does a 180. So you have to reposition, readjustable position, and that with that comes a lot of energy that you need to spend. So yeah, we'll see how people recover from that. But I certainly feel quite okay right now.
Well, I like the sound of that, Niels. Good luck. 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Now back for his third Omnium, and absolutely crazy, like from Quentin Molyneux today. Quentin, you've won 2 Omniums, both preliminary. How badly do you want to add a third one?
Well, if I can help Niels, I'll try to help Niels win it. Because I don't think I will be able to do what I did in the last zone. I could still bluff and say that I couldn't do it after Zone E, but this Zone K that just finished is still in the leg, so I don't think I'll be able to do what I did in the last zone.
Well, I know the likes of you, Quentin. I know Sepp. I know you. I know Casey. Sometimes with the legs or the tires, that's when you can push the hardest. We'll see. I believe Q. Good luck here in the next race. 1 minute and 20 seconds to go. Let's get the final word here from Ryan Goldenberg, who sits in fourth. Ryan, there's a lot of love for Niels. There's a lot of love for Ben. A lot of love for Beth. How does it feel to be, I don't want to say unloved, but how can you convince the fans?
I got a lot of love for all of them, too. Maybe it's the new jersey. I don't know. But maybe I'll have to switch back for the team competition on Saturday. But no, it's all good. I'm just here to have fun, and I'll have fun whether people love me or not.
I love you, Ryan. I'm here. I'm Team Ryan, everybody. That's one. Adds it to the pool. Ryan, good luck here in the next race. 40 seconds to go, everybody. Submerged Stadium has been a thriller so far in both Zone E and Zone K. Here we go for Zone L. 30 seconds. As you can see, the top of the scoreboard is very close. Ben and Vibeke separated by 3 points. Quentin and Ryan tied at 65. Then you have Beth, you have Niels, all at 64. So from 6th to 1st, separated by 12 points. Incredibly close. As Mock KG says, we love you, Ryan. Glenn says, Jesper is so mean. We love you, Ryan. Just keep watching, Glenn. I save it. Submerged Stadium gets underway in 3 seconds. And here we go. Ben Shuilong. Great performance on Echelon. But how much is it taken out of him? This is a technical map. You've really got to know your corner speeds. You've got to dodge the pillars in the way here. It is Quentin once again on the front with Casey Shum in here. Is this deja vu? Am I seeing things? Quentin and Casey once more utilizing the same trick they had in Zone K. Get out early, get the distance, but Beth York is aware to this. She is a quick adapter, a quick learner, and she has won this map too in the past. In fact, ooh, Casey Shum trying to pull on a sneaky little block perhaps on Beth, but just a second too late. He overlaps the wheels. And Vibeke Bertram goes down as well, down in 7th place. She hits the rocks on the right, and just hasn't been one of those days for her just yet. Casey says bottle throw. Oh, I wish you were on stream, Casey, but bottle throw from Casey. I think he was inches away from getting in early. DK says, wow, everyone else typing to Jesper he reacts to. I watch it. Vibeke here, underdog at the back. It's far from over. She's still at 105 points. If she can fight on back, she's 9 seconds down. She's got a chance. Top 3 currently on the map is Beth York in first. It is Quentin Molyneux in second and Ben Shuilong in third. But Beth here has really shown up early in Zone L. 124 points currently. She does not want to give the draft here to Quentin Molyneux. She moves left, she moves right, but as in doing that, it slowly lets Ryan, Ben, and Niels back in. We see Nils at 190 equalized heart rate here, so he's feeling the pressure, but he looks comfortable so far. Ryan Goldenberg also here on the screen. He is the closest rider to the front two. They're not out of sight just yet, and as we look above here, you can see that Ben, Nils, and Sebastian all in one line as Vibeke crashes again in 8th. Oh, coming through the corner, she can't believe it. She shakes her head. I think she was trying to move inside on a lane where the corner speed just is higher. She shakes her head. And Vibeke Bertram, it's still not over though, because she's only 19 points down. And this is where composure comes in. If you are Vibeke right now, you ride on through and you make sure to keep your mind composed, save your legs, because it's only 19 points. With Lakeview Circuit being 2.5 scoring multiplier, you've got to keep your head in the game here because everybody is out to win this one, as we see Niels Heldens and Sebastian Kuhn further down here. Chip says, go Beth, go Quentin. So we got a Quentin fan as well with a Beth fan for Chip. And it's Beth York, 185. Quentin, 176. Ryan, 181 equalized heart rate. You've got Ben Shuilong trying to close it down. Side by side here, we have got Quentin and Beth. Chip says, come on, Jesper, give DK a break and answer him. DK, could you repeat it? I must have missed it earlier. Usually I reply when I see messages in the chat, but I may have missed it, so I do apologize. But here comes Quentin. Quentin has taken the lead on Submerged Stadium. 125 points on the scoreboard, as you can see. He's having a phenomenal day here with Beth York 2 seconds down. She's a 187 equalized heart rate. She still seems to be relatively composed here. As you can see the two screens. Top left is Quentin Molinez. Top right is Beth York. And now they are pushing on through. Did you ask about playing on a controller, DK? Sorry, I didn't. I totally missed it in the beginning of the broadcast as Kay was full of action and the chat was moving so quickly. It was tough to see here as Quentin hogging the left side, Beth hogging the inside as well. And now you can see 3-second gap. It's coming out. But behind Beth, here comes Niels Heldens, who has had an amazing performance as well in the past here. And he moves on up. But the scoreboard becomes increasingly closer at the top. Quentin, 125. Niels, 116. Beth, 116. Ryan, 107. DK says, Jesper, I challenge you to join Zone L on Saturday on a controller. Challenge accepted. See you Saturday. Quentin, 5 seconds up the road here. And he's got the lead, but what about the legs? The fatigue. He's had 2 hours of racing, and he's in his 3rd hour of racing here. Surely his legs are starting to cramp up. Surely he's thinking about the legs here and how much is left as he pushes on through. In the chasing group, it is Ryan Goldenberg taking up the front. We're on the final lap of racing here. 1 kilometer left. You've got Quantum Shift. You've got Uncrashable. You've got Underdog. Who's going to use their Uncrashable? Who's going to use their Quantum Shift? What about the Underdog? Ryan, 3 seconds down. He is gaining. You can see the speeds now as well on the screen. They're very similar down. Niels is there. Sepp is there. It is so incredibly close, guys. Like, this is going to be an amazing finale. As we see Casey Shum, a lapped rider. I think he might be giving a draft here to Quinton. I'm not sure how that gameplay dynamic works. But Quinton goes through Casey here. I'm not sure how that exactly plays out. But he's trying to help him out. But further down, you can see Beth. She's got Nils on her right. Further up the road, 2 seconds up, is Ryan. And Ryan currently sits second place on the overall as Quentin Molinez comes on through. Ryan is chasing it down. Beth, Nils, Sebastian, they're all pushing it through. Ryan with an Underdog, 4 seconds down. Looks like he's going to have a tough time coming on through. Nils in the middle of it. As Ben comes on through, we see Beth and Ben go down in the corner here as Quentin Molinez will win the race. Ryan will be second. Nils, Sebastian fighting for third. Here's Beth and Ben. There's so much action. This is going to be so difficult to cover, but Quentin wins. Ryan coming across the line, and Sebastian will beat Niels Heldens across the line. Beth will beat Ben Shuilong by the looks of it. Here come the end. And yes, 2 seconds is the difference. But just like that, the scoreboard changes completely. Quinton 125, Ryan 117, Ben 110, Nils 106. Both Ben and Beth crashing on the same pillar, and they know it. They had Uncrashable. We've got Vibeke coming across the line next. Let's get... Guys, I mean, that was incredible. That was just like Sci-Fi R-Loop the other day. Just changes all in the last kilometer as we see this again. Let's get a word from Beth York, because she looked unstoppable until she was stopped by a rock. Beth, what happened?
Yeah, I was going for the combo, and like literally for an instant was like, which am I going to press first? Because I was going to let someone pass me to get underdog. And at that time where I hesitated for 2 and 3, which button I was going to press, I didn't change the lane and I didn't have Uncrashable. So technical error. I had the right instinct, but I just played it late. So as soon as I crashed, I knew I had the power up, so I pressed it. That was able to keep Ben at bay because he made the same mistake. I'm not sure if he used underdog to catch up, close the gap. But as I knew the chase pack was closing on Quinton and I, so Quinton attacked second to last lap. It was 1,200 equalized watts. I was like, he's just trying to tire me out so Niels can do underdog. So I just kind of held my position. I knew they were closing. And then I was thinking about the final lap, which I practiced in Rise and Rip yesterday. So I had it all in my plan, and I just failed to execute. But that was really fun. Good racing, guys. Thanks.
You're finding yourself in 6th. I mean, 2nd to 6th all comes down to the last 500 meters. Good luck, Beth. One race remaining here in Zone L. Let's hear from Ben Shuilong, who also made the same mistake. Ben, that rock made 2 friends today. One was Beth, the other one was you.
Yeah, I just can't believe I did that. You know, I thought I'd keep the Uncrashable for a fraction after I hit the other 2 power-ups. I should have just used all 3 at once. Yeah, big mistake. I'm really disappointed. After the the good start I had in the first 2, so we'll see. And I'm just gonna have to give everything in this race and see if I can bump myself up a position, hopefully.
You've got the whole Ben Shuilong fan base in the chat here. Good luck, Ben. Quinton Molinese, the man with the deal with the devil. Quinton, you're sitting in the lead. You're 1 race away from winning 3 Omniums. Talk to me. How are you feeling? What's the pressure? The chat is absolutely blown away so far.
I had to race that one without any drink. So if I'm going to get a cramp now, I have an excuse because my bottle was empty. So I just creeped to somebody downstairs to fill it up again, which is coming up right now. There you go. And a Coke. There you go. So I should be good to go.
Feels like there should be a revenue split share in that one with the DS, the Sunur, but we'll let Quinton deal with that one. Quinton, the chat says you're on fire. Good luck. Enjoy your Coke. We've got Ryan Goldenberg here in 2nd place as we see Ben and Beth both in the same corner. Ryan, last race, you caused a crash. You caused a mistake from Quinton and Casey. But before that, you looked like you were on fire. You are now 8 points off the win. Are you going to take this one?
Yeah, that was kind of funny what happened last Omnium. I was just, that was part of my warm-up. And so I decided to go out hard. And I wasn't trying to make him crash. I just switched lanes, and I think Casey said it on stream, like that was all him, and Quentin would probably say the same. But yeah, I kind of cheered a little bit inside because I know Carl was chasing for the top spot, and of course usually he's on my on Team Velocity with me. It didn't work out that way, but I'll see if I can kind of continue that effort this time around. It's really close between the top 6, and yeah, what Quentin's done today is pretty incredible.
It's incredibly close at the top in the top 6, all close. Vibeke Bertram also in the broadcast, and Vibeke, not 1, but 2 crashes in the last one. Did you recover mentally? Did you recover physically? Are you ready to give it all one last time?
Oh yeah, it's the last race of today, so I'll go out with a blast or go out crashing. I don't know. Last time I crashed this the same gate 3 times or every lap, I think. So hope I'll avoid that this time.
Well, you've got all the mixer chat very clearly. DK Mansuni yelling your praises the highest. So Vibeke, give it everything you've got. The chat will be watching. They will be cheering. 1 minute to go, everybody. We'll let Nils Heldens get ready as there's 50 seconds to go. It is Quentin Molinese on the top, 125. It's Ryan, 117. Ben, 110. Nils, 106. Vibeke, 105. Beth, 102. Then Sebastian, 93.5 with Casey at 48. Any of these racers can win. It is any given Tuesday here in the CVRcade Solo Cup. Who is it going to be? Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat. You may have your favorite. You may have the fan. You may be a fan of a certain person. But put all that aside. Put emotion aside and think logically. Who do you think is going to win? Let me give you, if I gave you 100 Jesper points and you had to stake it, if you had to bet 100 Jesper points, who would you put it on and why? You've got 10 seconds because the racing gets underway now. Lakeview Circuit for the 3rd time today. And they're off. Here we go. It is Ryan Goldenberg on the stream here. Everybody knows how important this first sprint out of the gate is as you want to get in front of the garden racks. As you can see Quentin, you can see Casey, you can see Ben. So far Quentin has been on fire. FOG says Vibeke. DK Mansuni says Q. FOG says because she wants it. I think she wants it too, but she's currently down in 6. Casey taking up the lead. Ben in 2nd. Beth is up there as well. I think Beth may also be a good call here, but so far so good for Ben Shuilon. But as we come around the bend here, we're coming up to the first set of obstacles in the road. Are they able to dodge it this time around? We saw 4 riders all crash on the first lap. Will they be able to stay upright? As we see Vibeke Bertram moving here on the inside. She wants to be free of the other riders and find her own lane. There she is in 4th, now in 1st. And in doing so, she now moves into the lead. She stays upright. It is only Ben Shuilong who gets caught up and he can't believe it. He is gone off the back. But the racing continues on the front. You see Vibeke, you got Casey, you got Beth, you've got Quentin here. And Casey taking up some valuable points here at the front as he's racing this one full on out. We're coming through again as we've got 3 riders. You got Quentin, you got Nils, you got Casey, all in one long line. Quentin, currently the preliminary leader on the top. You've got Ryan Goldenberg, you got Beth Yor, you got Vibeke Bertram fighting to stay with this one. 6 long kilometers left here. DK Mansuni says go, go, go. Vibeke, it is interesting to see that no one has moved over. Everybody is trusting themselves the most here. They want to be controlling their own fate here on the last one. As you can see, the real-time scoring updating. Quentin Molinese hits the front here, 178. He's got his Coke, he's got his water, he's got his drink as Beth York comes on through. And now she moves on up and she moves into 2nd place overall. So for Quentin, he needs to maintain a top 2 here, top 3 in case it is Beth. But the first lap is down, and have we seen the first cracks in the armor of Quentin Molinese? He's now moving on back here. And it looks to be a wounded animal, perhaps? Or maybe it's a play. You can see his face looking up. He goes, what are you saying, Jesper? Well, we'll just see here as he breathes out. He breathes in. Everybody has got their eyes. But now, guys, it is 6 points between 1st and 4th. It could not be closer. I hope, just like me, you're at the edge of your seat now. You're grabbing on to your recliner. You're sitting there thinking, what is this? Who is going to win? 5 kilometers left. There are 2 supers available, Corner Caper and Quantum Shift. How you utilize it will most likely determine who wins. Quentin on the left, Ryan on the right here. They come through as Vibeke once more. Vibeke Bertram, she wanted to go out with a blast or a crash, and it looks to be the latter here as both Vibeke Bertram and Ben Shuilong find themselves 5th and 6th here after a crash. And now Ryan takes the lead. Ryan Goldenberg preliminary leader, but then Quentin comes back. It is all very volatile at the top of the scoreboard as we came into this race, only separated by a few points. Ryan goes down! He did not. It's the exact same pole as Zone K. Ryan Goldenberg, most likely out of contention, and then there was 4. Quentin, Nils, Beth, and Casey. Here comes Nils Heldens here. He is 29 points down on Quentin. We've had Ben hit a pole. We've had Vibeke hit a pole. And now Ryan Goldenberg. 8 seconds down. He can do it, but it's going to require an enormous effort from our Canadian Ryan Goldenberg to get back on here. As we see Quentin, we see Nils, we see Beth in 3rd place. For Beth to win the overall, for Nils to win the overall here, they need to catch up to Quentin Molinez, come over the top and see if they can take points away. Casey Badger says, I hit that first pole 3 out of 4 times in Zone E. It is visually tricky. And yes, we've heard Frank Garcia say this in the past, but once you get into a turn and your avatar starts leaning left or right, you kind of lose your balance of where you are on the lane. But now Beth needs to accelerate. She needs to get back on this because Quentin and Nils, good friends in real life, they're going to be taking turns here. They're going to try and preserve their 1st and 2nd. As we've got Timothy Tamont in the chat saying that Quentin has already got this Omnium in the bag. Massive kudos for triple Omnium today. Not only triple Omnium, but triple win if that is the case. And right now, it's Nils Heldens and Beth York who are up against it. And even if Nils wins this one, Quentin still has a 9-point lead here over the top. So it's going to be needing more here. They look content. They look comfortable. The 2 riders that are friends, we see them coming on through. But halfway through the racing, you come on through and you know those very tricky poles, those of gardening, you've got to be careful of, because if you hit him, it is a 7-10 second penalty, so nothing is over. A mental mistake, a physical mistake, anything can happen out here. Cramping up, maybe. We'll see. Nils Heldens, Quentin have got a 5-second gap here on Beth York. And unfortunately, this is Casey Shum who is just sitting on through. So we come on up and they come through the poles without crashing. What about Beth? She is chasing on. This is where you're more likely to make a mistake. But no, she comes on through very skillfully. 2.7 kilometers to go. See, looking at this, Ryan Goldenberg in 5th looks relatively fresh. He is 8 seconds down here. If he pushes really hard, if he is fresh, with 1 lap to go next time we come across, he might be able to cross over the top, but he's going to have to dig deep into his reserves and try and take this one. So now we're seeing Ryan Goldenberg, the mitochondria kid. Very awesome kid introduced in the latest patch here. And so Ryan rocking it in real life, rocking it in the game. He is in 5th. He has to pass Casey. He's got a chance here moving up into 2nd position. As he passes Casey here, do not sleep on our resident Canadian. He's had his maple syrup. He's had his share of Beth York's peeps. He passes 1. He passes 2. And that puts him in front of Nils Heldens. 5 seconds is the gap up to Nils and Quentin. If Ryan beats Quentin, if Ryan wins, I believe regardless of where Quentin finishes, Ryan will win the Omnium. And as we've got 1 lap left, this looks like it could be a real possibility. Quentin has gone extremely deep today. We've got the chat in here. Glenn, DK, Lord Croissant as well. Let's go. This is your Jesper points on the line. You were given 100 Jesper points. Nils goes. Quentin is cracking. This could be the Omnium. Nils goes. 192 equalized heart rate. 5 seconds is the gap. We've got Corner Caper. Got Quantum Shift. This is far from over, everybody. You can see Ryan on the right looks more composed, looks more controlled than Quentin Molinez on the left. One rider on the right has ridden for 1 hour. A rider on the left has ridden for 3. Who do you think will take this last 1.3 kilometers? You can see the scoreboard here as when Nils comes around, He is currently leading above Ryan on the scoreboard, but that changes as Quentin comes on through. It's 4 seconds now. It is 3 seconds. Ryan is going quicker. Quentin starts to look down. It is 1 kilometer left here. Sorry, 1 kilometer left. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Ryan is gaining ever so gradually. Nils is now going off the back. Quentin starts to panic, but Ryan hits a pole again. Ryan Goldenberg, our resident Polish or Canadian rider here. What could have been, what could have been. And now he is 2 points down on Nils. As Quentin, I forgot, lap riders, you go right on through. 700 meters to go. Nils comes on through. In third, in fourth is Beth York and Ryan. Mistakes like that, they just get you. Quentin barely making any mistakes today across the 3 omniums, and now him and Nils here. If Quentin beats Nils and Ryan gets third, I think he comes across. I think he takes the points away. Quentin, what's up? Quentin, you're on audio.
What's the standing right now if I let Nils win?
If you let Nils win, he gets second, and you win first.
Oh, okay. Well, then I know what I need to do.
In before Quentin Molyneux sprints over the top, cycling hub style. Absolute cannibal, taking all the points away here. 1 second is in between here. Quentin accelerates. We've got the finish line coming on up. Nils on the right, Quentin on the wheel. 100 meters to go. Are we going to see Quentin with a bit of sprint here? Quantum shift corner caper. He ups not to sprint. Quentin making it 3 for 3 on the omniums. Beth York will come across third. Excellent performance as Ryan Goldenberg down in fourth. We've got a sprint between him and Sebastian Kuhn. Vibeke Bertram also just in the corner here. If we can see the sprint coming on through, as now it is Ryan, it is Sep, it is Vibeke here, as we see Ryan must be thinking what could have been in that one. Then Ben Shuey Long. But Quentin Molyneux, we've already heard from him. Nils secures his second place. But as we get up the instant replays, we have got to hear from Ryan Goldenberg. Because gaining until the pole. Ryan, how devastated are you?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I would have taken Quentin at the end, but I think it would have been close. I think it would have been a battle at the line, which I was hoping for. But maybe I was looking a little bit too far ahead and not about the pole that was right in front of me, which wasn't actually the same pole as the one I crashed last Omnium and this time. But you know what? I'm happy with the effort. I didn't think I had the legs coming in, but turns out I might have. But yeah, I'll have to get him another day.
Well, Ryan, nonetheless, I think the chat were all feeling you when you went down. I hope to see more of this. I hope to see the beginning of the Ryan journey towards the top of the Solo Cup. Good to have you in. But let's go and get Quentin, because Quentin, what you've achieved today is unrivaled of any other. You've won Zone E, you've won Zone K, you've won Zone L. Can you guess my question? Will we see you back in Zone T?
No, I'm not gonna try and humiliate myself. Everybody needs to quit when they're on top, so I think that's what I'm gonna do.
I mean, excellent performance here, Quentin. What is the secret? Like, because I think everybody out there doing one omnium, doing one zone, leaves them tired, leaves them restless. But you did 1, 2, and 3. What made you? Was there something you woke up today? You felt like you're superhuman? What happened?
I don't know what it was. I was pushing. I think I was pushing the same ones as I usually am. But I don't know. It seems like I was just going faster in game. So I guess I just had a good day. I also tried like a different tactic because it's a solo cup, so you can try to make it a duo cup instead. Now today it was Niels or Casey that I was in front with, but I was just going to work with anybody. I worked with Seb as well, so I feel like if you find a good partner to take pools with, doesn't matter if it's teammates in the league or if it's a competitor. It's always better to do to just work together and just consolidate first and second.
Well, new strategy, it paid off, Quentin. Solo Cup, I mean, winner of Season 1, winner of just under 6k. Looks like if you can keep this forum up for another 4 weeks, you will be looking to extend that excellent performance, Quentin. You bring some epic viewing spectacle. Congratulations. Let's go to the opposite side. Let's hear Beth York as she's on right now. Beth, what could have been? I mean, you look so strong. Ryan looks strong. Ben, Vibeke, Sebastian, everybody today looks strong. Where did it go wrong for you?
Yeah, great racing. I think overall on Echelon, we really were playing the wind really well. On Submerged, you know, that stupid mistake, that tactical mistake that I made messing with my supers, which was, you know, that I earned that. Coming into the last race of the day, you know, I got in the rails and Casey blocked me in on a rail, which gave Niels and Quentin a chance to break. I saw him dart in front of me right in between, and I anticipated, but there's really nothing I could do about that. They got a little bit of a gap. I saw Ryan coming. I couldn't use his wheel to try to close the gap. I tried. He was just too strong. But lots of great racing out there today. I really like this Omnium. I liked the low skill event. I think it should be a higher multiplier if there's no quantum shift. I said that earlier in the broadcast, maybe 1.5 multiplier. But overall, just solid racing. I'm happy with the way I raced. A couple mistakes, but I feel like overall I brought a little more to the gameplay with some practice getting back in the game. So great day.
It looked awesome out there, Beth. I mean, 1 or 2 mistakes away, but that's the story for so many today. 1 or 2 mistakes.
Yeah.
I look forward to seeing you back for more racing. Final word of the day goes to our Dutchman of the racing today. Flying Dutchman has got a new captain here. Niels, congratulations. Second place here, taking home $20. How do you feel about that?
Quite good. I probably spent that today on coffee and all that sort of stuff. So I just earned my day of spending back. But yeah, it was a good race, especially you know this late on the day. I usually don't like doing efforts this late, but it was actually quite fun and quite a good workout. I have the day off tomorrow, so yeah, that's going to be fun. Gonna sleep in, but yeah, it was great. Obviously, a friend in Quinton win 3 Omniums today is absolutely massive. Props to him. I think that is probably one of the most impressive things I've seen this far on this platform and on any platform really. So yeah, that's impressive.
If you fancy, Niels, you can come join me for the physical replay tomorrow morning. There'll be a spot open for you if you want. Well,
I think it's going to ride out tomorrow. It's going to be good weather tomorrow, so I think I prefer that.
Each to their own. Congratulations, Niels. Second place in this one. Great performance all around. On that note, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in here. You've got the full results over here. Quentin, Niels, Ryan, Beth, Ben, Vibeke, Sepp, Casey. Thank you so much for watching today. Zones K and Zones L. We'll be back in 7 hours when Aaron Starlin will be in this seat commentating Zone T. We'll see Luis Sobranis, Moti Pikelny, maybe Casey Shum, Daniel LeBlanc, maybe John Pyle, maybe a few others. I can't wait to see what that racing is going to entail. From all of us here at CVRcade, hope you've enjoyed this set of racing. I hope to see you back in 7 hours for more thrilling, exciting, awesome racing here on the CVRcade platform. But until then, we'll see you. But no, Beth York goes crashing down. Determination, the suffering, the ability to... And she's unleashed everything in this attack. See just how much that win means to him. All the marvels. Kayla versus Allison and to the line. Kayla Laguna takes the victory.